Hi, I'm Mark. Thanks for joining me here in my wee workshop in County Down in Northern Ireland. Now, what you're about to see was originally intended as a beginning sequence about a new toy that I'm trying to make. However, it started to get rather long and unwieldy, so what I'm doing instead is fobbing it off on you as part two of how to have ideas. Now, to make it look as if this was my original intention, there will be a little symbol up in the top corner every time I had an idea while I was inventing this new toy. Why not try to guess what the ideas were while I was working? That's interesting. I hope.
The radio broadcast is full. I got a breaker start with gas, the bolt and the...
Stuffing you have to wear, 130 pounds of it would mean you pretended to knock you off the band. Well, what difference does it make whether or not I was actually hit? The idea is I went over the banister and I landed on the table. Neanderthal men were quite adept at cheating. The popular dance team of Carlos and Elaine. And you know that there is a good determined team will be here to do the great act that you've seen perform so often on television. Playing very good radio. We'll see you next week, we hope. Until then, this is Ray Goulding reminding you to write if you get work. Bob Elliott reminding you to hang by your thumb. to pass up an opportunity like that.
Well, thanks very much for being with us today. Former sports great Nick Flail Edwards. And when the great swimming pool is drained dry, I'm sure your name will be visible at the bottom.
Say, you know, everywhere you go across the country, or across the street party, for instance, you carry the fun with you when you own
These
a
two close
Columbia
together.
Stereophonic high-fidelity phonograph.
Experiment.
And
No, this is the
your
experimental
club is
stage.
open. And he's standing by there at the 18th hole
Okay.
as the last twosome are coming in. Come in, please.
Okay, it's a very simple little pedestal made. And this will fit on like so. And this rotates like this. The idea is to make these rotate as we go around. I need something to rotate this for me. And I did think of something at the side, but I think what I'll do is I'll put a pulley underneath. Wait a minute. Let's have a look in here. Now, there's a aha. One of these, and some elastic for a drive belt. Okay.
Millions of people. Well, we don't expect them to pay all of them accredited for. But we think we've got now. This is a very unusual phone call. This is our first international lucky phone call. We've called people all over the United States, but this is the first time that we have selected a lucky person in neighboring Canada. And also it's first time.
Got a problem here. You see what it is? Pins are too low. Snagging on the drive belt. Should have thought of that. The axle's too long. I could put a spacer in to lift it up a bit, or I could just push the pin up. Oops, that's too much. Let's see if that works. Is that enough? Push it up like that. Right, disaster averted. This isn't really what I had in mind, but it'll do to get us started. But what I really want now is for these wheels, these mini wheels on top of the big wheel, to rotate as I turn the big one. And I had lots of different ideas about how I ought to do that. I could use a wall on the outside where the mini wheels just touch and they could rotate by friction, return continuously too. So that's a possibility. Or I had thought of pinwheel gears. Let me show you an example of that. Here's a prototype of a pinwheel gear toy that I was making last year. Pinwheels tend to jam and you have to do a lot of sums to decide on the spacing and the angle these are, and of course a lot of work to do to drill and position these pins. It's not ideal. I have another idea that I might be able to use cutout gears, which I have used in the past. So without spoiling the surprise, let's have a go at some wooden gears, see how that works.
over at IT. Excuse me. Jim, Mr. Sanders has... There we are. Now for a practical demonstration. Washington 13, D.C. Yeah, I know, Dale. You're going to ask me to let you see the books. Well, I won't do it because, I keep the books. I make all the entries. Sorry, Naomi.
That didn't take long. Put that in there. Yes. These are much too close. That's too close in. That one's way too close in. And do they actually mesh together? If I do them out in this one. That's too far out, is it? Yeah, that's too far out. Now what I have to do is decide where to re-drill these holes so that these are just nice, so that when they rotate around they can go round and round. So that's my next thing. So how am I going to do that? Hooray! Oh, that's the best I've got it going yet. Oh, it's been jamming and sticking and all sorts, but that's definitely the best that I've got it going. Oh, alright, I think it's time for a celebratory cup of tea. Oh, that's fantastic. Maybe I should just keep it going for the rest of my life like this. Oh, that's definitely the best it's just going. The trouble is, this is only the experimental one, and it took hours of fiddling around with this to try and get it to do that. I've got to think of a different way to try and make this reproducible. Very pleasing.
On the phone? Oh, you mean the business with the typist under the line? Oh, give a light out. No, sir, this 800 million pound surplus I amassed on my department's expense account. So you amassed it? You blasted fool pitkin? You big idiot! Actually, Limits Farm and Land did most of the amassing. But this 800 million is a disaster. Currency speculators are pouring money into Britain. Well, isn't that good, Lawson? No, it's not good. It's not good.
Now, here's the sort of second iteration of this, where the gears are underneath, and you can see the stationary gear in there. The bits on the top, let me show you the bits on the top. You can see the bits on the top now are rotating.
very good, but I think we'll call it job done.
So reluctant were the brass Georgetown people to let their merchandise go that as they were leaving with the genuine brass Georgetown, they were rendezvoused by the rank and file. There was blood. There was blood on the... But wherefore there was no way.
Now just like you, I sit and wonder why you got your troubles, I got mine. You need some sympathy, well so, and it don't seem so long ago that we were walking, that lovers do.
This has to go in here. It's a bit low. Cut that a bit low. I mean, it's sort of working a bit, but this is not really going to drive the big wheel very well. Okay, a bit more adjusting, that's what it's all about. I've taken about half an hour and done a fair bit of modifying. I knocked these pins through and sanded the points off. I moved this forward a little bit. I put a sort of a spacer thing in here to hold it in place, and this is working quite well if I hold it in place. But the little wheel is having a lot of trouble driving the big wheel. It's just about doing it there. And perhaps if I finesse it a little bit more, I might be able to get it a bit better than that. But it really needs to be nice and smooth, and this is just not acceptable right now. It needs to be a lot more positive than that. Well, as you can see, it's actually working now. I'm very pleased indeed. I replaced the drive wheel, this is the original one, with a new one with the pins very slightly further apart. And as I was making it, I thought, this is not going to work, it's just going to bind up exactly the same. But it's working perfectly fine. I'm not sure I'm crazy about using these metal panel pins. I'll maybe think of something slightly different. So this prototype is, let's call it 90% complete, because it's working and it's doing everything that I wanted to do to demonstrate how I want to use it as the base for other toys. So I think we'll call this video quits here, because it's turning out to be much longer than I intended. Thanks so much for looking in. As always, God's greatest blessings on you. Do stay tuned to see what I actually do with this, if I ever get around to it. Thanks for watching.
I'm hearing from you, Paul. I appreciate it more than you know. So how about throwing me a bone and giving me a call on the